Hello everybody, this is the recap of today's Bund session. It's Tuesday the 27th of August. I was only at the desk till 9:30, then I had to leave and was back later than at 10:30, 11 o'clock. Didn't trade then anymore. But we can talk about and make a recap of this day anyway. First look at my hypos. I said we have hypo 1 as my range long levels. This is the lower pre-market volume edge. It was at 820 at 87.8.58 and also 178.51.48, so the yesterday value area high. Then short, only if increasing sell volume into the 48 level, we want to see weak pullback or holding, followed by increasing sell volume, then also into the overnight low at 43. This is important. If we see this, then we have a chance to see the targets at 40 and 34. And then also hypo 3, long, if increasing buy volume into higher pre-market volume edge, 178 into 71. We want to see increasing buying volume going through this week 50. And also either a weak pullback if after this high increasing taken out the high, or a holding then. Targets 81, 88, 02, 01 plus. You see this here prepared in the chart, the levels for the longs, for the short more, the lists in between here. And let's have a look how they played it out. The market starts and got through the lower edge of the pre-market and already with the open at this level of 45. I said there we have then some interesting level for the range long. Remember the 51 and 48. But when you see this here, market here, reaching then the level, got down to the 51, and what we see was, and I make it a little bit bigger that you can see it. What we see then was when we're reaching here the first time the level 51, 48, we didn't hit the 49, but we get to the 51. You see at this moment we had rejection number 1 and rejection number 2. But unfortunately at this moment, oriented at the 51 level, double rejection, the price was already too high again to enter for a range short trade here. Why? Order book was still thin. So no trade for me before I was leaving the desk. So because the trigger wasn't giving me an possible entry at a cheap price area. Anyway, of course, there was a double rejection, and then you'll see, of course, the high probability that price is then looking to get back into the value. At this moment, when I draw my profile to this very moment, you see you have a high probability now getting back to the POC 57 and also the higher edge of the morning here, the 63. And you see we're reaching target 1 and boom, we're reaching target 2. Anyway, nothing to do. I was gone. And then one could look for the hypo number 2, hypo number 3. Long, if increasing buy volume into the higher pre-market volume edge. So this was still the 71 level. Here, you see this? And the 50 was the 72. So I want to see that they take out this high of the day, 71, with at least 1-2 ticks with the increasing buying volume to get directly with a weak pullback into this trade. But what happened? As market then reached this level of interest, 71, look at this, when we significantly take out, not by 1 tick, but here by a few ticks the high, look at the delta. You see this here? Now tell me, please, is this here a strong bullish with increasing buy volume breakout? Nope. But we see when we draw our volume profile, where is my volume profile? Here it is. At the moment we took out the high, we see that we have created 2 bullish control levels. Level number 1, the lower here, see the edge, the low volume node, or the volume edge from this rangy market so far, and then taken out. So that means we have an area of control here. And you see the second boom here in the delta when they absorbed the people who left the long so far, getting back with power into it, at least at the moment when they pull back, boom, and try to take it out. So we have 2 levels of interest. That means as I don't get a signal for entering immediately after a weak pullback because we haven't seen power while taking out the high, I would stay flat here. So I'm waiting for the pullback to the bull control level number 1. Bull control level number 1. 10 o'clock. Got tested. Bulls coming in. If you now entered it quick at this area, you have the chance now entering at a cheap price and seeing then they cannot take out the high. Okay, so far so good, as long as they stay within this control level. Okay, because you see again here, boom, 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 bulls coming back again. So we have some kind of a third control level now, and this is this level here. I let these levels in because they still valid, but you have to know that you also be aware and look how price reacts when they reaching these levels of interest. So you see this, they cannot take out the high, but the first time with the second attempt here, that's okay. You're in this trade cheap, maybe around here at the 60, what is it? At the sorry, so you enter maybe around here at the 68 area, and now seeing that this is, they are not able to take out the high so far. So what you do? Tell me now what you do. No answer, no question, no. I know you cannot talk to me. This is a replay video, but at least one thing we can see here at this moment. You see that the second attempt, which obviously some new buyers coming in, boom, 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 didn't let that they can take it out, but you also know you now having a second buy control level, this level here. Now see how they react. You can stay in this trade, of course I would, as the selling power is not so big so far. So we stay in this trade. But what you see now? You see now trading around this new bull control level, trading around, and then with a little bit selling, it is not huge, leaving it at the still even, going back to the initial buy control level, and now see this. They try to buy, they buy, and look at price. Price reacts and doesn't react, only a little bit. Price don't react. Price don't react. Price don't react. What does this mean? That means that here, even though they buy market, of course they are in longs now, and some people even got in here again and now looking here for the pullback. So you see, price is not impacted. That means what is happening here? What is happening here? I can tell you. Absorption, absorption, absorption. They cannot pay the offer. That means the ask is blocking, absorbing the bias. What does this mean? If you see this kind of divergence, what does this mean? That can only mean one thing. This delta divergence shows us that people are still interested in buying in this upper area from this initial bull control level are now trapped. Now beware. What we now want to see now is that some kind of this delta structure gets broken. And this happens maybe around at this moment here. At this moment. See this? Boom. More sellers now. The buying stops and sellers coming in still are the sellers in. Okay, some people still trying to buy, but at latest here, at this moment, you can see now this is over. So if you're not anticipated for a short already here at the top area after they cannot take out, but this is a little bit anticipating and risky, you don't know. They can stay here, they can trade around forever and then boom, taking it out. This will be a little bit not my way to play it. You can, I don't say you can make a lot of money with this, but it's not the way I want to play it. So This was for me a conservative and good moment to get now into this trade, because buyers are obviously trapped. We see the signs, they get absorbed. We see already double top. We don't see that they can stay in control if delta structure breaks and also convergence with price. That means now delta has effect on price. See this? Boom. And at this moment, if you enter, you know, from the option theory, we may see now that at the moment, we may see now that they hit the former level of, let's say, POC, or at least the area of the high volume edge. This would be then at least seeing the 57, and also seeing the lower volume edge. This would be at this moment at least the 53 to 54 area. Do you agree? 52 to 53 area. Do you agree? Is this the lower volume edge then from the market so far? Yes, it is. So that means if you're entering here, you know, you have a good chance now with a very tight stop, because normally when the structure then finally breaks after trapped buyers are in a failed breakout, you don't want to see price in a liquid market like Bund. This is very important. Please don't compare this with stocks. They may push back here, but in a liquid market, you can now work with a very tight stop above the structure. That means 65, entering at this moment maybe around 61, 4-tick stop, and the profit then would be at least this edge, number 1 target, and number 2, the lower edge, here the 50, 53, 52. This is your chance at this moment. Sorry. This is your chance. I will scroll back. At this moment when you're waiting for the delta structure to break. This is how I would play it then. Now in option theory, alright, then we look back to the price area, to a fair price, to the distribution edge here. And if they are even weaker, we will even see that they're trading through to this lower edge here at the 53, 54. At this moment. But I want to see delta structure breaks. That means absorption was successful and now having even effect on price. That means nobody absorbs who still want to stay in control at the initial bull control level. And see it? Boom. Delta structure breaks. Now definitely you're entering now here at this level, maybe 61 with the pullback, 60, 61. And now, you know, we want to reach 57. We reached. Normally, the former POC, already some people are taking profits, trading around, blah, blah, blah. And then finally, we reach the lower volume edge here at this moment. Trading around, and then loosen from the unfold from the POC, and we reach the low edge, even get down to the low of the day so far. After a failed breakout, first then get back to the normal value, which we see here. Anyway, this is the one opportunity, if I would be at the desk, that I would be looking for. The failed breakout with this signs and trigger to get into a trade with a scalping intraday kind of risk reward of at least 1-to-1, and with the second target even the possible target of 9 ticks. So 9 ticks, 4 ticks, and the stop would be around 4 to 5. And this is a kind of good trade from risk reward terms in the scalping in a Bund where you could look for. So, market state overall. What if we recap everything? We see failed breakout on the upside, then later the failed breakout on the downside. Also responsive buying signs, then double bottom. Here we have a really weak breakout. That means they took it out with some volume, but you see this pullback here is very, very strong. You can see this, you can rely on this trigger from the delta in this liquid market, all right? This is a very good first trigger. Okay, some nice selling volume into the low here, taking it out, but at this yesterday value area high, we want to see when they sell into this 48 level. And look now at my preparation. Number 2, short if increasing sell volume into 48. Short if increasing sell volume into 48 and weak pullback. So excuse me, but is this, when you take out the low, is this here a weak pullback in delta? Hell no. Hell no. This is strong. That means already boom, 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 OTF say, no, we're above the Esther value high, we stay here, and we get the people who are retailers and short-term traders trying to get here into the short, we get them out of their positions. And look at this is wonderful. Number one, rejection, very, very strong pullback. Testing the low again, delta divergence is so clownish big. I mean, come on, excuse me. Look at this. They're trying to get low, but you see this at the moment. When they go in lower here, you see this already, the second rejection of buyers coming in at this moment. See this here, please, 1036. One could have entered at this area, and no, we have now again two targets. Number one would be the separation. Now we see that the profile, I will draw this so nobody can say that he cannot see this. We draw this to the at the moment volume situation. So look at this. Where is our target number one? So if we say we want to see that they re-enter this area, we want to say target number one would our volume edge, the POC from this at the moment, and target two would be the higher volume edge at 67. So look, you entered now, as you see the double rejection signs here already, you entered cheap here, you get in, you reach in target number one at this moment, and you reach in target number, sorry, why is this? We don't want to see this. Right? Okay, and you reach in target number two at this moment. Let's be fair. Did we reach it? We reached it, but didn't get filled because there was only a few contracts traded at this level. So 67, to be fair, you got not filled. So, but anyway, see in trading around this, you still have the opportunity as even the POC is shifting up again, and we see trading here the volume edge, the higher volume edge of the day at the 67. But anyway, you see. Failed breakout, in this time really nice strong failed breakout signs with the strong pullback already after the first attempt, and then very huge delta divergence for the range long from the other side. So two opportunities. This market would give you two opportunities, and I think a very interesting market. Range market and good triggers, two times opportunities. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening. I hope this was for the education, give you some new edge, some new information which makes you better in the understanding, because this is my first goal, to make your understanding in terms of volume, market volume profile and option theory better. All right, thanks for watching. This is Anton Höpfel for Manapa Trading. Bye bye.